Hello and welcome to this deep dive review of the PRS SE Paul's guitar. I want to spend a little bit of time going through absolutely everything on here, going into all of the the feel and finish parts, how it actually sounds. So there will be a sound demo in the video as well, and what you can expect from this guitar. First things first, it is an import guitar. It's constructed in Indonesia. If you've been lucky enough to watch any of their videos on YouTube, their standard of quality in their factory is really high. They have their own factory now to make these. They've had it for some time. So they're not messing about. This is something made by a Cort. They really take their time, really make something which is quite special. So you can already see that flame maple top. It's rather nice. That's all hand finished. It's got that sort of shallow violin carve to it. Very lovingly finished guitar. You can see that as soon as you put it in your hands, you can see that they've actually spent time on it, and it's not something that they've just knocked out of the factory. Starting at this end of the guitar, it has really good quality electronics inside it. So looking in the back of the guitar, it all looks pretty neat. Fairly sparse really. Switches, alpha parts, there you can see alpha A500. So as you would expect on a guitar in this kind of price range. See, the other one is also alpha A500. So full size alpha pots, fairly decent looking wiring. It's tidy enough, it's nothing too special. And you can see the switches, etc. in there. Looks pretty good. They do have a smooth roll off. There's none of that sort of judderiness or, you know, you turn it and then suddenly, boom, it goes. None of that. It really does. They're very smooth indeed. I want to touch on one of the killer features, one of the real positives early on. We'll cover some negatives. There are negatives with this guitar. I won't lie. There's negatives with any guitar, any price point. There's always going to be something which is going to irk someone. But one of the killer features on this one, now this is a version of Paul Reed Smith's guitar that he uses on the road. And he likes maximum versatility. So what you have on this guitar, the SE version, are these switches. So you can do a single coil on each of these humbuckers. So you have multiple combinations. Here you can flip this up, flip it down for the single coil dual humbucker, and you've also got the more commonplace three-way switch that you'd find on any Les Paul, for example. So you can really mix and match to your heart's content. Now, what I really do love about this guitar, and that's the first win, is that it really can sound very kind of Les Paul style if you want it to, and it really has an incredibly convincing Stratocaster sound as well. I've never heard anything that comes that close. You really, if you close your eyes, and you'll hear that later in the sound demo, you will think that you might be listening to a Strat. So in a studio environment, I can see why this might be an incredibly popular guitar, because of its price point. You haven't got to spend a hell of a lot of money, but you get supreme versatility and really fantastic sounds out of these. Certainly in my collection at the moment, this is one of the most useful guitars I've got. No question, no doubt about it. It does have binding on it, or binding alike around it. It looks rather nice. In terms of the actual finish itself, you'll see on my channel as well, I do have an Epiphone Slash model. It's the Anaconda Burst. And you'll see in that video, if you do watch that, I'll try to link to it in the video as well. The finish around that is a little bit, should we say, less cared for. This looks flawless. It's really spot on all the way around. If that sort of thing matters to you, I mean, finish, yeah, it certainly does. It matters to me. You want to have something that looks really nice, that you're proud of. So that's really nice. People do mention the way it's joined on here, the neck, the way it's joined onto the body. I've seen a lot of controversy, a lot of chat about that. This feels, when you're playing it, fairly similar to a Les Paul. And again, the neck profile itself, I'll show you that now. So this gives you a sense of what the profile looks like at the 1st fret. And this gives you a sense of what the profile looks like at the 12th fret. So it does widen and thicken out. It's a nice chunky feeling C kind of shape. It does have that kind of, it has a big kind of fat feel to it. They actually call it a wide fat neck on the Paul Reed Smith website. Now, to me, I played several PRSs on my journey towards this one. And this actually, although they call it a wide fat, it feels much more similar to a pattern vintage. It is a pretty chunky neck. It does really fill up your hand, which is really, to be honest, is what I was looking for when I was getting this guitar. So if that's what you want, that is what you're going to get with this guitar. Neck depth at the first fret is 21.9 millimeters. And the neck depth at the 12th fret is 24 millimeters. The nut width is 42.7 millimeters. The birds on here as well, it's this kind of abalone look, and it's a rosewood fingerboard, so it's very, very pretty indeed. Again, depends on your taste. You might find this incredibly ugly. I know PRSs can be so divisive in so many different ways. I don't want to get too much into that. I've got another video on that, and again, I'll try to link that too. But I find this very, very pretty. Hopefully you do too. Up to you. You decide. Now, one of the other standout features on the guitar for the positive is this bridge. This is actually the same bridge that they use on the higher end models, and it has these small brass inserts. Now, one of the things that really did concern me when I got this guitar, and it really had me wondering, because by the way, this is not sponsored by PRS or anyone, so this is completely honest. This is why it's warts and all. I'm telling you exactly what I think. I was very, very concerned about this bridge and whether it would intonate properly, whether it would stay in tune properly. Normally you might have Stoptail Bridge and tailpiece to get everything in order. This doesn't. It just has this, and you think, whoa, this looks a bit worrying. Am I really going to be able to do everything I need to? Now, what they've done, whatever voodoo, and I'm sure it's not voodoo, it's all science, because they're very specific guys and really know what they're doing at PRS. This intonates perfectly, absolutely perfectly. I won't lie, at the moment, because I'm experimenting with different gauge strings, I actually have 8 gauge strings on here, because I thought I'll put this to the test. Will it intonate properly? Will it sound right, even if I put 8 gauge on here? The answer is yes. It sounds absolutely brilliant, and I've got an incredibly low action on here. The strings are barely off the fretboard. It plays really nice as well. You have the little screws in here if you need to move these back, which will help you with intonation if you just need to get a bit of a tweak. So it is a very high quality piece. It works incredibly well. So very, very happy there. The neck itself is multi-ply. Now, multi-ply wood, plywood, if you know about woods, it is not a single piece of mahogany. It is multiple pieces put together. So I'll flip it over, and they very nicely covered it all up, so you can't see what's actually under there, which is probably a good thing, I would say, because multi-ply obviously it probably ain't going to look too pretty under there, sadly, but it is what it is. It does work, and it does still sound nice. It feels great. But if that's the sort of thing that worries you, you're going to have to pay more money and get yourself an S2 or above. So this guitar costs in the region of about £1,000 to €1,000, $1,000, that sort of range. Whereas obviously the other ones cost a hell of a lot more, and you're going to have to pay a lot more to get what you might consider those higher specs. So just fair warning that, yeah, that's multi-ply, which, you know, overall it doesn't worry me too much, but it's something to consider. The other thing that might bother some people, and I've seen multiple reviews covering this and multiple people talking about it, are the tuners. Now, the tuners I don't really have a problem with. They actually work really, really well. I had this in the gig bag because I've just been away. I had this in the gig bag for a few days, and it held the tune. I've been playing for a long time in duration, and it holds tune perfectly. These hold tune perfectly. You can switch these out anyway. People have said they don't really like the plasticiness of those. They feel a bit plasticky and maybe not the highest quality. But, well, I can tell you, they do work. They actually do the job very nicely. I don't have any problem with them. It matches the guitar. So you don't really need to, apart from cosmetically, change any of that. So I would leave well alone. You don't need to do anything there. It's a PRS nut, they call it. Now, the other thing to touch on, again, talking about the versatility, the electronics, all of that good stuff. The pickups. Now these are what they call TCIS pickups. These are, I mean, and again, you might take this as a good positive. These are standard humbucker size. When you start going up the range, these actually shrink slightly, and it's pretty much the same technology and the same sound, but they are slightly smaller. So if you wanted to flip these pickups out and get something else, you're probably going to struggle a lot more with the higher end models. In fact, with this, if you want to start to mod and you want to tinker, this SE model actually, in some ways, you could say it gets the upper hand, and you've got 95+% of the tone that the higher end models have. It is a super light instrument as well. The weight of the guitar is 7 pounds, dead on, or just under 3.2 kilos. So there are many positives. There are a few what you could consider negatives, although you know, how bothered are you going to be? Without further ado, I think we'll get into a sound demo. Any comments, questions, any of that good stuff, please do let me know, and I'll endeavour to answer every single one. And yeah, enjoy playing, enjoy life, etc. Please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah, enjoy the sound demo.